anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Coppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. With the school year here, A1 Automotive reminds you that college students get 10% off any service, and they offer free tire repair with a valid college ID. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive or downtown at 11th and L.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O. Sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel.
At Sweezo Construction, safety isn't just a policy, it's a promise. Build with us. Work safe, go home proud. We're hiring skilled craftsmen, laborers, concrete workers, and steel erectors who value quality work and a team that has your back, on and off the job site. If you're ready to be part of a company where your safety and success come first, visit Sweezo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com and apply today. Sweezo Construction, 40 years strong and still building the future.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everett. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriker.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. Jake, how was your non-fall wedding, summer wedding, non-fall wedding experience?
It was fantastic. Got it just in before college football season started. My baby sister got married to a wonderful man, so it's incredible. Dr. Chatters was the DJ, so it was a lot of fun.
It sounds like a lot of fun. Got it in just under the wire, right before football season started, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Adam Carriker Show. What you're going to hear, Husker sports, college football, sports in general. What you're going to get, unique insight, unbridled honesty, and producer Jake and I are going to have a whole lot of fun in the process. A lot to talk about today. Butler, Holgerson, they're both going to be giving press conferences here, about 30 minutes or so. Should probably be reacting to that, getting the info and some of the quotes from their press conferences in hour 2 of the Adam Carriker Show. In the meantime, volleyball absolutely dominates. Like, seriously, should we just end the season and give them the national championship? But while we're at it, should we just give them gold medals for the future Olympics? I mean, goodness, Jake, what is your reaction to watching volleyball so far?
Well, it's been incredible. Obviously, great event for Lincoln, and couldn't have gone any better. I suppose they did drop one set.
But,
maybe we could have gone a little bit better.
Jeez.
But outside of that, 2 top 6 victories to start the season for the number 1 team. Obviously, in the DBK era, just an incredible weekend. Good work from everybody.
I love how you pointed out the one set they lost. I mean, you played the number 3 team in the country. You beat them 3-1. The number 6 team in the country. They really didn't even sniff beating Nebraska in a set. I mean, they weren't just outright blowouts, but Nebraska was clearly had the edge each and every set they had. So in the 7 sets you play, you win 6. Bad News Bach points out the 1. Way to go, Bad News Bach.
Well, you said it couldn't have gotten any better. Well, a little bit better.
All right. You could always be better, right? It could always be better. It could always be worse. Depends on how you want to look at it. I saw this. All right. Let's see here. There were 74 Nebraska natives on volleyball rosters this season, including 22 in the class of 2025. What is there? Is there 2 million people in the state of Nebraska? Is it still a 1 point something? Or have we reached the 2 yet? That's crazy is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is whether it's 2 million, 1.8, 2.2, I definitely don't think we're in the 3s.
Just over 2, yeah.
Just over 2?
Yep.
That's incredibly impressive right there. Volleyball, obviously, catches fire. We had two pro volleyball teams here. Now they're kind of doing the whole merging, coming together thing. We'll see how all that unfolds exactly. I pointed it out at the time when you got the Supernovas, you got Love Volleyball. I could only think of 3 other cities in America that had multiple sports teams, professional sports teams in the same sport. And that was literally the 3 biggest cities in America, New York, LA, and Chicago. And then you had Omaha, Nebraska in there. Now they're going to merge. Volleyball is a big deal. Volleyball looks great. Danny Busboom Kelly, after the match versus Stanford, kind of said, this isn't an anomaly. This is who we are. That's not kind of what she said. That is what she said. This is who we are. It's funny because I like watching. As you know, I like to listen to what coaches say beyond what they say. Like, I feel like I've sat in thousands of hours of meetings, and sometimes it gives you a little bit of insight as to what a coach may or may not be actually saying at a podium or a press conference. I also like to watch body language. Body language, to me, is like 90% of communication. If you just watch her, this is my take. You just watch her sitting there, it's almost like she's beaming. It's almost like, man, clearly she's a very good coach. Let me be very, very clear. She's just watching her, she's kind of like, if I have to step in, I will. I don't have to do a lot right now, though. Like, we're just rolling at this moment in time. And so you just watch her, it's almost like she's beaming and like, wow. And if you watched her press conferences leading up to this, I always got the feeling like she led Louisville to 3 Final Fours, 2 national championship matches. She knows what she played on a national championship team, played in 2 national championship matches. Like, she knows what it looks like. I always just kind of got the feeling like she's like, this is my takeaway. Not putting words in her mouth. My takeaway is just watching her. Body language, little things she says. Like, she feels like this may be the best team she's been around. That's the impression I get. What say you?
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I mean, you got to think about how does she inherit it? And that's what I was kind of trying to think of with the number 1 rankings, primarily the roster that she got. Along with her, I think maybe if they made a different hire, depending on experience and all that, they'd probably be in about the same position. So you don't want to say, autopilot or anything like that. But to your point, she had to kind of grind it out and build up Louisville. And now, you come home to Nebraska and it's again, just well prepared, I suppose. And that's going to be happening when you're taking over for John Cook. So it's fun. And we'll see. I mean, no doubt, as exciting as this start was, there will be challenging times and times where she might need her coaching a little bit more as the season goes on, certainly throughout her career.
To be clear, because she's the coach. She needs to step in at a certain point in the match. She knows what to do, not saying she can't do that or whatever the case may be. I want to be clear about that. All right. I'm just going to throw this out there. I'm drinking the football Kool-Aid. So I'm just going to throw this out there with volleyball. Are they going to go undefeated, Jake? I mean, I'm just dousing the Kool-Aid everywhere right now. It's Monday morning. I don't have a case of the Mondays. I'm feeling good. What do you think, Jake?
I would always hope for that, but I will go back to a quote that John Cook says because he knows a little bit more about that situation than I do. And I think he has said, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think he said that he doesn't believe anybody's going to go undefeated in the Big Ten these days. I mean, that's just a tall ask.
It's a fair point. I've been a part of undefeated teams at various levels in the past. And even when I was coaching, even with kids, like you never coach to lose. All right. It's different depending on the age level you're coaching. But there was a particular team I recently coached, and I'm like, we need to lose. That's so weird to say, but we need to lose. Because it helps you remember you're not the greatest thing since sliced bread. You still need to get better. Anything can happen on any given day. It's just that reminder. Sometimes I've heard it said a lot of times in college football that a coach would rather lose a game than go undefeated. It relieves the pressure of the undefeated season. And it's just that reminder. Hey, you're not all that you think you are. You better keep working hard. Is there anything off the text line yet, Jake?
Not yet, but I kind of think back to that Patriots team. Like at some point, it's going to happen. You'd rather maybe it happen before the playoffs, right? Before you get into the single game elimination.
So they played the Giants that year, 2007. They played the Giants that year, the last game of the regular season. I mean, it was a dog fight up in the Meadowlands. Patriots won. As we all know, month and a half later, rematch Super Bowl, Giants win. The Tyree catch, Eli Manning, all that good stuff. Are you saying had they lost in the Meadowlands, they win the Super Bowl?
Perhaps. Or if David Tyree doesn't make that magical catch.
I could actually get on board with that. Not that the Patriots didn't show up prepared. It's funny because if you talk to people from that team, they will tell you the more they won, the meaner Bill Belichick got. And the longer the season went, the harder the practices got. A good coach, the more you win, the harder they are on you. The more you lose, the more they will lift you up to a degree. If you're losing too much and you're just doing awful and to a degree. Yeah. Like at a certain point, there's get your butt in line. But if you're a good team and you have a little bit of a rough patch, or you're like a hitter in the majors and you're in a slump, that's where they're going to lift you up a little bit more. If you're a guy who just never hits, they're just going to cut you. They're only going to lift you up so much. I could get on board with that. I think if they lose to the Giants, they win the Super Bowl. All these years later, we now know what happened.
Do you still consider it as one of the greatest teams of all time?
Oh, well, absolutely, yes.
07?
I just immediately was like 72 Dolphins, 85 Bears, 07 Patriots, a lot of last year's Eagles, got to be in that conversation. There's other teams as well. If you put them in like the 12-team college football playoff format, okay, I would absolutely have them making the Final Four. And yes, the size of linemen were different in 72. If you could make all things relative, if you just could, in a video game, so to speak, I would have them as one of the Final Four teams. Just out of, I can't think of the word. It's escaping me. Not priorities. When you stand up for something just because. I can't think of the word.
I can't help you either.
I'm blanking out. Just for the fact that I won't make them number one. I actually think they might win. But just because they didn't win the Super Bowl, I'm on purpose not going to put them in the championship or winning the Super Bowl. Like, to me, you got to win the Super Bowl if you want to be like the all-time greatest team. But I think if you could play it all out, they'd be one of the top 4 greatest teams of all time. All right. Hour 1 of the Adam Carriker Show is sponsored and brought to you by our good friends at Hamilton Telecommunications, bringing you the latest in quality technology and communication services since 1901. Learn more about their residential and business services at hamiltontel.com. Again, that's Hamilton, TEL.com. Principle. Out of principle.
There we go.
Thanks for helping me, Jake.
Yeah.
Just out of pure principle, I'm not going to have them in the all-time championship game or winning it, but I have them in the Final Four. Who else would you have?
Well, because I think that's fair, too, because you think about it, there's one loss. There's only one undefeated team, like you said. So they're right up there for second all time. But yeah, I mean, I think you kind of named off some of the good ones. And, obviously that was Tom Brady and Randy Moss at their peak, basically. So it's tough to argue.
I'd have to do a deeper dive. The 5 that pop into my head: 85 Bears, 72 Dolphins, 07 Patriots, last year's Eagles, and 91 Redskins. People don't talk about the 91 Redskins team.
DP will.
Well, he's highly intelligent. But take last year's Eagles out of it. And there's a reason for it. Up until last year, the 91 Redskins won their playoff run, won their playoff games by the most average margin of victory by any NFL team in history. The reason you have to take last year out is the Eagles finally supplanted that, mostly because of what they did in the Super Bowl. The first round game versus the Rams, which was in the snow and they almost lost, almost brought them back down. So the 91 Redskins aren't talked about enough. For me, I think my final four would be the Bears, 85, 72 Dolphins, 07 Patriots. And there's going to be teams in here I'm not thinking of, and people can shout at me on the text line if they want. And then it would either be the 91 Redskins or last year's Eagles. And I know people are definitely going to disagree with that.
Yeah, Andrew says 2011 Packers. The 2010 they won? Or in that era? Or
Is that Rodgers? That's Rodgers.
Yeah.
Weren't they a wild card team?
I think they might have been.
I think they were a wild card team.
Brandon Jackson was their starting running back to begin that.
I remember that.
Run.
You know what? We beat them that year in D.C. We actually knocked Rodgers out of the game and beat them. Jarvis Jenkins knocked him out. Like when I say knocked, hit him hard, he went out of the game.
Right.
Like not like it threw a punch. Right hook, uppercut, jab cross.
Shiloh Sanders.
So if you're going to lose, no. You can't be a wild card team. You can't have like 4, 5, 6. No. They had a great run.
Other teams, I wish obviously, I wish this came off the top of my head, but I looked it up. I used our friend. 1978 Steelers, of course, from the Steelers dynasty.
Was a record.
I'd have to look it up specifically.
I clearly don't know that much about them because I don't even know. Like everyone else, I'm like, oh, they're a wild card team. They're this, they're that. I don't know. See, that's why I'd have to do a deeper dive in the NFL.
Because they also got the 84 Niners, of course, Montana and Rice.
Ooh, yes.
92 Cowboys, Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin.
Why not 93?
Yeah, could be.
Have you watched the Cowboys documentary on Netflix, by the way?
Not yet.
I'm in the middle of episode 3. It's right after Aikman got hurt. The backup came in, started the rest of the season, led them to a playoff win. They got destroyed by Detroit. Aikman was pretty mad, so then they moved on from him. And now Aikman's back and starting. I'm to the NFC title game versus the Niners. So that's where I had to pause it at that point. The 92 Cowboys. I think the thing that subconsciously hurts them with me is I know how young they were. They were actually probably better on the field in 92. But they won the Super Bowl in 93, to be clear. Should have been better in 93.
I'll say one other team that I could think of, maybe 98 Broncos. Terrell Davis was going off.
They were underdogs going into the Super Bowl versus the Packers. Great win, great game. That would be my caveat with that year's Broncos. A little bit more that goes into it. I think the next year when they dominated the Falcons, they should have played the Vikings. Remember the Vikings missed like a real easy field goal in the NFC title game?
The only field goal Morton Anderson missed all year, I think.
And that was. And they were 15-1, NFC champs, number 1 seed. That would have been a Super Bowl. That Vikings team versus the Broncos. And remember the whole Dirty Bird? They were doing the Dirty Bird. They didn't Dirty Bird at all. They got Dirty Birded on in the Super Bowl by the Broncos.
The Dirty Bird was such a fun, short period of time.
It was fun. It was a great playoff run. Ruined what should have been a great Super Bowl, though. So I would go with the next year's Broncos, possibly, in that discussion, in my opinion. All right. That wasn't on the docket at all today, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Random sidebar. That's okay. You're ready to do, because you tried to get out of this. I mean, you had your sister schedule a wedding and everything to try to get out of this.
That's right.
But then Nebraska football, 30 minutes before the show, decided to release their depth chart. Seemed to take priority on Friday. Seemed to be a big deal.
Fair enough.
So now you're being forced to join me in giving our college football playoff predictions at this point. To be clear, I'm aware that week 0 happened. I didn't have Kansas State winning the Big 12 anyways. Just FYI, I don't have Iowa State winning either. So this didn't change anything for me. My Big 12 champion, I've had it predicted. Who do you think it is? Who have I talked about from the Big 12 the most?
Texas Tech.
Yeah, Texas Tech. That has not changed. Are you ready? Should we do this? Should we dive into this?
Yeah, if you're ready, you start, because I'm gonna still put piece of mind together.
Because you were trying to avoid this and you didn't get out of it. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with conference champs, Big 12 champs. As you know, Texas Tech. So in the championship game, I don't have them playing Iowa State or Kansas State. So I'm in the clear with what happened at Farmageddon. By the way, what an ugly game from Kansas State. Matt Campbell has done one heck of a job at Iowa State. You could argue that or Indiana, because Indiana has the most amount of losses of any college football team in history in the FBS, was the most difficult Power 4 job in the country. I had seen something right before Matt Campbell took over where it was rated the worst Power 4 job in the country by quite a bit. He's done a great job there.
Yeah. That was an ugly game for both of them, though.
Oh, God.
Just Iowa State just came out on top. I wonder what they didn't have enough paint there in Ireland to paint the field.
Oh, good Lord. Why are we in Ireland every year? I don't understand. It's a cool concept. Do you like it?
I mean, I don't mind it, but yeah, I mean, it's starting to become a little bit of a tradition. I just don't like, they had like the feature there right in the first quarter, like went out and asked people of Dublin about football and none of them knew or cared.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like, well, that didn't help.
Exactly. Like, what are we doing? You know why Matt Campbell won? Oh, should I say it?
Why?
He did an onside kick. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was uncalled for. My apologies. All right, who do I have Texas Tech playing in the Big 12 championship game? Man, if Arizona State had Cam Scattaboo, they'd be my Big 12 champs. So I'm going to go with Arizona State. They have their entire coaching staff is back. Their quarterback is back. Their wide receivers are back. They won that Big 12 championship game dominating Iowa State without their top wide receiver. So to me, even though their best player is now gone, they have so much else coming back. And to be clear, there's like 9 teams in the Big 12 that can win it. It is the most balanced conference in America. Balanced. When you just think of pure balance, it is the most balanced. I mean, Kansas State could still win it. Honestly, they could. Kansas, if their quarterback stays healthy, watch out. Like, seriously, watch out. If their quarterback stays healthy, that's all that's hurt them the past couple of years. Utah is going to be back. I almost had Utah. It came down to Arizona State and Utah for me as who Tech was going to play in the championship game. Let's move on. People aren't that interested in Utah and Tech and Lincoln, Nebraska. I picked Texas Tech. I've always said the most exciting, most fun football is played in the Big 12. The best football is played in the Big 10 and SEC because of the talent disparity. Texas Tech looks like they belong in the Big 10 or SEC after what they've done, the transfer portal, after the $82.5 billion they've spent on transfer portal players in the NIL. I rounded down. They have starters that were on their defensive line last year that are now backups. So they've got like a straight up 8 deep on the D-line. Now, does it all come together? Do they actually win? Does it actually all come to fruition? I don't know. That's why preseason predictions are what they are. A little bit of a crapshoot, but they're also fun. I'm going with Tech because they're the most talented team now. We'll see if it all comes together. ACC. I'm going to be honest with you. This one was real easy. Clemson versus Miami. Now, Florida State could come back from the dead like Lazarus and win the whole thing, go undefeated, and actually get in the playoff this time. Or they could be 6-6. I don't know. I don't know what to make of them. They're so wildly unpredictable. I've got Clemson versus Miami. A ridiculously insane dark horse to keep your eye on is North Carolina. I know. Bill Belichick. What are you doing, Adam? Hopping on the train. I don't even know if he's going to be a good college coach. Everyone's talking about Nebraska's got the easiest strength of schedule out of all the teams in the Big 10. You want to hear about North Carolina's? They play one team preseason ranked in the top 30 in the country. One. And when it comes to their conference schedule, they play 5 of the bottom 5 teams in the ACC preseason, like ranked teams. They play the 5 worst teams in the ACC. They only play one team in the top 30. This is a team that can make the playoff based on just it's an FCS schedule. Like, Bill Belichick rolled into Chapel Hill and set up in a bakery because all they do is play cupcakes. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. If they get in the playoff, I don't care who they're playing, take the other team. Because it will be a situation where they got in because of their schedule. I don't care if they're playing Tulane. Man, did UNLV not look great? What if UNLV gets in? Almost lost to, what was it, Indiana State?
Yeah, it was not great.
Ashton Gentile, Boise. Take the other team. I don't care who it is. No, I don't think they're going to get in. I'm just saying. With a schedule like that, you never know what's going to happen. All right. SEC. I have Gagny U versus Alabama. Shocker, right? I had pumped up LSU quite a bit this offseason. I'm going to tell you right now, I have them in the CFP. Brian Kelly's a good football coach. but something about the way he doesn't seem to fit at LSU. There's a discombobulation there that I don't trust. So I have Texas versus Bama. I have Georgia in the CFP, I'll tell you as well. The most talented team, top to bottom roster-wise, is Alabama. But when you look at Texas, they have one of the top 10 linebacker units in the country, one of the top 10 secondary units in the country. You look at the offensive side of the ball, they got all sorts of weapons. The questions for them is on the offensive line. Not that there's holes, just questions. These guys just haven't played. Kind of like Nebraska's D-line, just haven't played. All right. So I've got Texas versus Bama. Oh, I didn't tell my winner. I'm taking Clemson, who, by the way, I have them making a run in the CFP. I have them making a run, and I think this is their last year to do so. They've not done a ton of the transfer portal. They've done some, not nothing. They had done nothing for a while. But their recruiting, they've been outside the top 25, top 30. And this is kind of their last year once Cade Klubnik is gone. I think they're going to make a deep run. Texas versus Bama. I'm going to go with Texas. Gag me you winning the SEC. So you got Clemson, Texas Tech, Texas. You go to the Big Ten. I wrote Penn State immediately. Now, will they beat Oregon? Will they beat Ohio State? Will they beat these teams? I don't know. That's a question mark. I think at some point, James Franklin breaks through, and I think this is the year. You have the top two running backs in the Big Ten. Like, you look at all the preseason running back rankings, they're 1 and 2. Nick Singleton, Katron Allen. Then you've got Drew Aller, preseason #1 quarterback in the Big Ten. They're going to play good defense. Stole Ohio State's defensive coordinator. Ohio State won't even speak his name anymore. Just helped him win a natty. Can't say his name. Didn't invite him to the championship celebration either. They're going to play great defense. My only question, there's 2 questions. How good are the wide receivers? Because that was a gigantic issue last year. When they lost to Notre Dame in the Orange Bowl in the Final Four, I just said that for college football. That was weird. In the semifinal matchup, their 2 leading receivers were Tyler Warren, their tight end, and a running back. That was also the case when they beat USC in overtime about 2 months earlier. That was the case in far too many games. Their wide receiver room, and they brought in some guys. Okay, we'll see what happens. And can they win that game? That big game versus Ohio State? Can they win that game versus Oregon? I'm going to go with Oregon. Playing Penn State, I'm going to have Penn State winning. I don't have anybody undefeated in championship weekend. Ohio State, defending national champs. Maybe the best offensive player in America, Jeremiah Smith. Maybe the best defensive player in America, Caleb Downs. So much coming back. You look at their quarterback, Julian Sain. Was he the #1 quarterback in the country when he came out? He's Dylan's age.
Was, yeah.
#1 quarterback in the country. Adam, what are you doing? Lost their offensive coordinator, lost their defensive coordinator. Lots of questions elsewhere. All they do is reload, and I understand that. I just think if Penn State's ever going to overtake Ohio State just for one season, this is it, or it's never going to happen. So I'm going with Penn State. And I think Oregon learned from that Rose Bowl. And I think they're going to be better for it. As much as that sucked for them, they're going to be better for it. And I think that's why they get there. So my 4 champs, Tech, Clemson, Texas, Penn State. So we got to go to break, don't we?
Yeah.
I don't want to. I love this stuff. All right, when we come back, you'll give your 4 champs. We'll go a little bit quicker as far as our college football playoff predictions. And is Nebraska a CFP team? Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Boxing is back this Saturday with no nonsense at the Complex. The Midwest's best professional boxers will display their best performances with hometown favorites Clyde Godzilla Johnson and Jack Lawless Frericks among the boxers. Get your tickets at thecomplexlincoln.com, where you can live stream the event as well. Doors open at 6 p.m. with first bout at 7 p.m. this Saturday, August 30th at the Complex at 1555 Yolanda Avenue.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O. Sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Coppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Coppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
Hello, this is Mary Pat Waite. I've had the privilege of working with Lincoln families as their realtor for more than 31 years, and I'm so proud to be associated with MP Dodge Real Estate. For me, your transaction is unique in its own way. My experience allows me to bring you trusted care and a really great outcome. My NP Dodge family shares the same client focus.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. With the school year here, A1 Automotive reminds you that college students get 10% off any service, and they offer free tire repair with a valid college ID. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive or downtown at 11th and L.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, Jake. I gave my 4 conference chance, but you got to go quicker. Like, I could do a 4-hour podcast on this alone. People have no idea how much I love college football and how much I'd love to fix it. Commissioner in waiting. Take that, Josh Pate. Go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, well, I'm going to play the result. Iowa State is now my Big 12 favorite.
What? What?
I think they would have been anyway. I actually predicted Iowa State to win that game against Kansas State, and I think Arizona State's going to struggle a little bit more than we perceive without Scadaboo there. So I do have Iowa State winning over Arizona State in the Big 12. In the ACC, I think we get a rematch of the championship game there as well. Clemson over SMU. I'm not buying into Miami. I don't trust Coach Cristobal there. SEC, I've got Georgia getting back to the top over Alabama. I think Alabama has a really good year in year 2. Big Ten, I have Ohio State over Penn State. I don't believe Penn State gets over that hump. I don't see it. So I think Ohio State's going to get the win.
James Franklin hater.
Hater or just looking at what history tells us. Yeah.
Hey, the best indicator of future events is what you've done in the past.
That's right.
But if that were the case, Osborne would have never won a national title after 22 years. So what say you about that, Jake?
Well, James Franklin, remember, did win in 2016 with Saquon Barkley. But...
the Big Ten championship.
Yeah.
They beat Ohio State that year on a blocked field goal, and then they had a 14-point comeback versus Wisconsin in the Big Ten championship game to win. I remember that. And then a phenomenal game, Saquon, USC, Rose Bowl. That was the year USC had 3 losses, finished number 3 in the country, beat Penn State in the Rose Bowl. Do you remember all that?
Not off the top.
You can fact check me if you want.
Trace McSorley. I do remember Trace McSorley. Yes. He was exciting.
Again, I love college football. All right. So here are my top 12. Do you have your top 12 ready?
I got 11.
Dude, I talk for a long time. How much longer am I supposed to talk?
Well, you alerted me during the break that there is indeed a group of 5 team that I need to include.
You didn't know that?
Now I'm scrambling. Well, I kind of forgot that
Jake.
Well, the college football playoff model is changing every year. I
That's true.
can't keep up with what's going on this year. It's a 12-team, top 5 champions get in.
All right. So here's how I have it. I have the seedings as number 1, Penn State, number 2, Gag Me You, your Big Ten SEC championship winners. I have number 3 at Clemson. Like, I have Clemson making a run. I've seen where some people have them preseason number 1 offense in the country, number 1 or top 5, I should say, defensive line in the country. Now, the question with them is their depth. If you just look at their starters, they're there. They're one of the top 5 teams in the country. The question is depth. Now, they don't have to play a Big Ten or SEC schedule, although they do start out with some non-con. They play South Carolina. Who's the other team they play early on? It's actually it's a good SEC team. LSU, is it LSU?
Yeah, I think so.
Like, that's a good non-con. And then you roll into the ACC. I can respect that, but it's going to test their depth a little bit. Number 3, Clemson. Number 4, Alabama. Number 5, Oregon. So 4 and 5 are your Big Ten SEC championship game losers. Then at number 6, I have Notre Dame. Join a conference. Why don't you? All right, number 7 is Ohio State. Number 8, Georgia. Number 9, LSU. I told you I had them in. I think this is the best LSU team they've had in 5 years. Problem is, they haven't played defense in about 5 years. But if they can match a defense with Garrett Nussmeier and what they've done offensively the past couple of years, they'll be pretty good. I'm going to skip number 11. Let's be real. That's the spot everyone's waiting to hear. Number 12 for the G5 spot, I have Tulane. I just don't think Boise is going to be the same. Tulane was knocking on the door last year. A lot of people thought they were the best G5 team, and then they had a couple of rough late losses. I think this year, they got a lot of guys back. They're going to get that G5 moment. Number 11. Who do you think I have at number 11? Or are you doing your own thing over there?
Yeah, I'm doing my own thing here.
All right. Jake's doing his own thing. I'm pausing for effect because people want to know if it's Nebraska. We are in Lincoln. They do care about Nebraska, the Huskers here in Lincoln. At number 11, because right now we've got 4 SEC teams, according to my prediction here. 3 Big Ten, Notre Dame, no man's land, 1 G5, 1 Big 12, 1 ACC. So that's 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 teams. Does the ACC get a second team in? I'm going to tell you right now, the Big 12 does not get a second team in. Not in my opinion. Just like last year. Does the SEC get a 5th team in? Does the Big 10 get a 4th team in? Does the ACC get a second team in? So South Carolina from the SEC is in this conversation. Lenoris Sellers may be the best quarterback in America. So they're the team I was debating from the SEC. With all due respect, I don't have anybody from the Big 12 in this conversation. You got to win the title. You're probably not getting in, kind of like a G5 school, in my humble opinion. Out of the ACC, I'm looking at Miami. I got them ahead of Florida State. Out of the Big 10, USC is a team to watch out for this year. I'm going to tell you right now, I got us beating them. I've flipped from my original preseason prediction where I had USC beating us. I have us beating USC. They play 3 top 15 opponents right before they come in here. We got the alternate uniform game. Everyone's extra hyped for that, especially the older generation. It's going to be a blackout. It's going to be at night. Nebraska fans, we don't have a brutal schedule leading up to that. It's like, with all due respect, Northwestern and Maryland right before that. They play Notre Dame like either the week or 2 weeks before us. I think we beat USC. So that would knock USC out of this conversation. So the 3 schools I was debating between are Miami, South Carolina, Nebraska. If it's South Carolina and you're the 5th best team in the SEC, you're talking about a 3-loss team. After what happened last year and all those 3-loss SEC teams whining about not getting in, and then South Carolina loses to Illinois, Michigan mollywops Alabama. I don't think a 3-loss SEC team's getting in this year. So it's Miami or Nebraska. Now, do I have Nebraska going 10-2? That's not what I've discussed. If they're at 9-3, it's not a convo. So I have Miami getting in because I have predicted Nebraska to go 9-3. Thoughts?
How dare you? especially to put it between Nebraska and Miami.
Well, that was unintentional.
Well,
Trust me.
That's the part that hurts.
Terrell's laughing. I don't know if he's laughing at us or what, but
that's the part that hurts.
That was unintentional.
If it comes down to Miami, Nebraska, you got to go Nebraska. But I mean, I can't.
I didn't even realize that. Crap. Dang it. Sorry, go ahead.
But to be fair, I mean, you would be going out on a limb, even to have Nebraska considered. Obviously, is not the standard prediction. We've seen some of those predictions, but so I kind of like your list. Again, mine mirrors a lot of what you kind of had. I'd go Ohio State, Georgia, Clemson, Alabama, Penn State, Texas, Notre Dame, Iowa State, Oregon, SMU. I do like the South Carolina pick, and I'll go with Boise State.
Okay. All right. Since I have, so you don't have Nebraska either.
No.
What record do you have them predicted to be this year? See, if you have them 10-2, you're bad news Bach. I have it 9-3, so I can get out of it.
I think I've settled in at eight wins.
Oh, that's right. You did tell me that.
Yeah.
Well, we're definitely not getting in with 8 wins. So
no.
I have Miami getting in because they're going 10-2. Now, the question that we should discuss, maybe we'll do this tomorrow. Let's do this tomorrow. If Nebraska goes 10-2, would we put them in? Because then I would have them right next to, it'd be a 10-2 Nebraska versus 10-2 Miami, a Big Ten team versus an ACC team. Maybe
Weak schedule Big Ten team, though. That'd be interesting.
Ooh. Let's dive into that tomorrow. I want to get through the full prediction today. Because if they're 10-2, I may view this differently. Let's dive into it tomorrow if Nebraska goes 10-2. I just have them at 9-3. All right. So first round matchups. Penn State, Texas, Clemson, Bama get the bye. 3 of those teams won a conference championship. The other gets the benefit of the doubt due to their recent head coach. All right. First round matchups. Oregon hosts Tulane. Notre Dame hosts Miami, which is a rematch of a game 1 game. Week 1 game, I should say, this weekend. Ohio State and Texas Tech. Did I forget to say Texas Tech? They were the 9 seed. I may have skipped them. It tells you probably if I think they're going to win their first round game or not. Notre Dame hosts Texas Tech, Ohio State, Georgia. Can you imagine Notre Dame hosting Miami? Is Catholics versus convicts? Is that okay to say on air?
Yeah.
Well, I hope so. I just said it. Okay. And the thing about Ohio State, who'd I have Ohio State? LSU. That's a matchup. That's a matchup right there. There's some matchups here. All right. So in the second round, I have Oregon over Tulane. In the first round, I have Notre Dame over Miami. No upsets so far. You know what? I'm going to take LSU over Ohio State. I'm sorry. I just am. I just am. So that's an upset in the shoe. And Georgia over Texas Tech. So I'll tell you my second round matchups next. What are your first round matchups? Who you got winning?
So I got Boise at Penn State. I'll go with Penn State. I got Texas at South Carolina. Little SEC matchup. I'll go with Texas there. I've got Notre Dame at SMU, like Notre Dame there, and then Oregon and Iowa State would be my 8-9 seed. And I like what Coach Campbell's doing over there. I'm picking Iowa State.
All right. So my second round matchups, as I write them down here. Oh, who am I missing? Oh, there it is. Quack, quack. It's the Ducks. All right. Second round matchups. And these would be at neutral sites. Boo. I want them on college campuses. I don't mind if the Final Four is like the Rose Bowl and the Sugar Bowl. But right now, if you're a top 4 seed, you don't get a home game. You get a bye, which right now I don't think helps you because you get 25 days off. I would love to be the number 5 team right now. Notre Dame gets to have their cake and eat it too. Their bye week is conference championship weekend. So they know they're probably, well, they don't have to be. The odds are they're going to be playing a first round game, probably at home, but they got their bye, a normal bye. They get their first round playoff game at home if they're in the playoff. Man, they get to have their cake and eat it too. But it's Penn State versus LSU. Texas versus Georgia. Now, if Texas and Georgia play in the SEC championship game because they play in the regular season, that would be the 3rd time this year. That's going to happen at some point. We now live in a world where you can beat a team twice. You can beat them in the regular season on their home field, in theory, beat them for a conference championship game, and then you can lose to them, just happen to lose the 3rd game, and they're going to go on and possibly play for a national title, and you won't. That's the world we live in now. Clemson hosts Notre Dame. That'll be fun. Well, they wouldn't host them. Neutral site. Bama versus Oregon. Those are some exciting matchups. mean, I love those matchups. Let's do them on college campuses. The first 4 seeds should have a bye and a home game. And then the final 4 games, the final 4 teams, last 2 games, Rose Bowl, Sugar Bowl on New Year's Day. I'm cool with that. Or national championship in the Rose Bowl, which has been proposed by Herb Street about 1 million times. I'm going to go with Penn State over LSU. I'm going to go with Gag Me U over the Dogs, over Georgia. I'm taking Clemson over Notre Dame. I'm going straight chalk here right now. Ooh, I'm going Oregon over Bama. Big Ten over SEC. So my final 4 teams are Penn State, Texas, Clemson, and Oregon. Who you got, Jake?
I would have Penn State matching up with Alabama, and I'd pick the Crimson Tide there. I'd have Texas taking on Clemson, and I would pick Clemson to get that win. Notre Dame and Georgia, I've got the Bulldogs, and then Ohio State and Iowa State. Buckeyes get the win. So my final 4 would be Clemson versus Georgia and Ohio State versus Alabama.
Close. I said as far as what we're predicting here.
Yeah.
So I would have, Penn State, Oregon for a 3rd time. Again, another scenario where teams play 3 times in a season. So just so you know, I actually, before I did this, Penn State and Oregon play in the regular season. I have Penn State losing to Oregon in the regular season, beating them in the Big Ten championship game. So this would, quote unquote, be the rubber match. I'm going to take Penn State. I'm rolling this year. This is 94 Nebraska, Tom Osborne, 2025 Penn State, James Franklin. Now, that doesn't tell you who's winning the championship, but as far as getting to the national championship, which Penn State has not played in, I believe, since 82. Take that, 94. All right. Beat Oregon by more. This was a different Oregon team. The yellow and green of puke variety with the angry Daffy Duck out the side of the helmet. It was a different era. You got to beat them by more than what they beat them that day. I do remember the first play from scrimmage, Kajana Carter took it to the house. And I was like, oh, this could be ugly. And then it wasn't. And then I was like, Nebraska's better because they just beat Miami in Miami. All right, Texas and Clemson. I'm not going to lie to you. I have literally picked Texas and I've literally picked Clemson in my head multiple times. I'm going to go with Gag Me U.
You know, big Arch Manning believer, huh?
I did this once where I had Clemson going all the way through winning the national title. Like, to me, those are the top 3 teams in my mind. Now, Bama, if they play like they can, again, their talent composite ranking, just like last year, is number 1 in the country, but they're not as inexperienced. And Caleb DeBoer is more in charge of that team than he was a year ago. Bama's the one team that scares me in all of this. Could throw a wrench in all of this. To me, the top 4 best teams are Penn State, Texas, Clemson, Bama. So I could see Bama winning it all. I could see Penn State. I could see a lot of these teams going on a run. There's like 9 to 10 teams this year that could win a national title. 8 solid teams, which is good for college football. I'm going to go with Penn State and Texas playing for the national title. We got to go to break. When we come back, tell us who you got in the national championship, and then we'll predict the national championship winners. You can go to Vegas. You can make a whole lot of money betting against our picks because that's how it usually works. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Sean Callahan here for Coppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Coppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Coppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
At Sweezo Construction, safety isn't just a policy, it's a promise. Build with us. Work safe, go home proud. We're hiring skilled craftsmen, laborers, concrete workers, and steel erectors who value quality work and a team that has your back on and off the job site. If you're ready to be part of a company where your safety and success come first, visit Sweezo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com and apply today. Sweezo Construction, 40 years strong and still building the future.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. With the school year here, A1 Automotive reminds you that college students get 10% off any service, and they offer free tire repair with a valid college ID. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive or downtown at 11th and L.
Hello, this is Mary Pat Waite. I've had the privilege of working with Lincoln families as their realtor for more than 31 years, and I'm so proud to be associated with MP Dodge Real Estate. For me, your transaction is unique in its own way. My experience allows me to bring you trusted care and a really great outcome. My NP Dodge family shares the same client focus.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
I can't believe I just scratched that car. Find my insurance card.
Dude, what do you have in this glove box? Ew, are these socks dirty?
Forget about the socks. I need my insurance card.
Just pull it up on the State Farm mobile app.
But I can do that? Oh, hey, I can do that.
Yep, it's called service.
I can file a claim on here too?
Yeah, it's called service.
Whoa, I can call my agent too?
It's called service.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krikak, today at 402-474-1173.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete in Lincoln. With 3 plants across the city, there are plenty of opportunities to start or grow your driving career. They offer great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they cover the cost of CDL training. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Since 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today with ready-mixed concrete. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's nebcoinc.com.
When the clock strikes 0 after every Nebraska football game, there's only one place to go for instant coverage. Tune in for the Husker After Party Postgame Show on 93.7 The Ticket for each game, win or lose. Call in with all your takes or text the show at 464-5685 and hear quotes from the players and coaches too. It's the Husker After Party Postgame Show, sponsored by Anderson Ford and Vinny Krikak of State Farm Insurance.
An overdose can happen in front of you and you might not realize it. Blue lips, slowed breathing, pinpoint pupils, choking sounds, unresponsive to touch or sounds. These signs aren't always obvious, but they can be deadly. Knowing what to do could save your friend, your neighbor, your child. Learn more by visiting myhealthymind.crediblemmind.com so you can be ready before it happens. This message is funded in part by the CDC OD2A grant.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show. It's game week, baby! How have we not talked about this yet? Nebraska plays on Thursday. College football playoff be damned. All that matters is what happens in Arrowhead on Thursday. We are going to give up our final college football playoff predictions here. But then, Nebraska football at the top of the hour. Jake, is there anything off the text line? Somebody called me a traitor. I have to go fight somebody. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, there's a few thoughts there.
All right.
Yeah, Mr. Blitzkrieg didn't like your pick of Nebraska over Miami there, or Miami over Nebraska. He also just doesn't believe in Miami, so that could be part of it. He says Miami will be out of the top 25 by the end of the season.
I mean, I'll be very clear. I'm going out on this 11th. Like 1 through 10 fell pretty easy for me. And they really did. Penn State, Texas, Clemson, Bama, Oregon, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Georgia, Texas Tech winning the Big 12, LSU. Like, I sat down and wrote that in 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes. Picking the G5 team was a little bit harder. With all due respect, I'm not going to spend forever on that. The 11 seed was the tough one. That's why I'm like South Carolina, Nebraska. Ooh, I'm going to like, what about USC? Oh, we'd have to beat them. That's why I went into that whole diatribe. By the way, I get no credit for picking us to beat USC. Not many people out there doing that. He called me a traitor in the text, didn't he? You didn't want to read that out loud, did you?
He did, yeah.
How dare you? So when
Nashville Husker, by the way, just say I'm curious who Adam's 3 losses are for the Huskers, if not USC.
So, okay, it's a great question. Keeps us talking about the college football playoff predictions. That's okay. So originally it was USC, it was Penn State, and then we got a 4-game stretch in October versus Northwestern, Maryland, Minnesota, and Michigan State. And I just said we haven't shown consistency enough to just say we're going to go 4-0 versus 4 teams. We're going to be favored then. The ball's going to bounce wrong or it's not going to go right in one of those games. And that's how I got to 9-3. Now, in that same show, I mentioned the UCLA game makes me nervous. I could actually see us beating USC the very next week, going halfway across the country, traveling 2 time zones, the opposite direction where the days become longer after a high intensity win. I mean, UCLA came in here and got us last year. I said in that show, I've either got us beating UCLA and losing to USC or beating USC and having a letdown versus UCLA. That game just concerns me either way. So that would be the third one. I mean, I think it's a big deal that I have Nebraska winning 9 games. I was pretty pumped about that.
You're just scared to say PJ Fleck, aren't you?
That too. I did say that we will beat PJ Fleck, or that I think Matt Rule is going to emphasize that Minnesota game just to get that Minnesota monkey off our back. Michigan State makes me nervous. It is after a bye week though, so that should help us. So it's Penn State. It's since I've flipped to beating USC. I hope I'm wrong. Maybe an upset at UCLA. An upset would mean the bad guys win. All right. And then somewhere in the month of October, we got to show more consistency for me to just say we're going to beat every single team we should. Haven't seen it. If I see it, I'll be happy to hop on board that train.
That means you got picks over Michigan and USC, though. So it'll be some big fun times.
Thank you. Can we point that out instead of dropping the T word? And as far as picking Nebraska over Miami, honest, when you pointed that out to me, it hadn't even occurred to me. I was literally just looking at team. I took my Nebraska hat off, and it was purely college football fan hat on. And it wasn't until you said you're picking Nebraska over Miami that it dawned on me what I had just done, which is blasphemous. My apologies to the world. All right. Who you got in the national title game? Who you got winning?
So my final 4 would be Clemson and Georgia and Ohio State and Alabama. You know what? I like the last couple, well, not the last couple, but some title winners as of recent. So I'm going to go with Georgia and Ohio State in the championship game. No back-to-back for the Big Ten, though. I like the Bulldogs to bite the hardest.
Nobody's going to call him a traitor for that? Nobody's going to, Jake's a traitor? Okay, just me. So before the break, I had Penn State and Texas, the national championship game. The odds of this actually happening are not great. Just like the odds of your game actually happening are not great. But that's what makes it so much fun. And then you just see who comes with even earshot of getting their picks right, and you say, I nailed it. About 6 months.
That's right.
Or 4 months. All right. Penn State gagged me. Again, I did, like the first 10 seeds was easy to do. As that 11th seed I really spent time on. Then the matchups after that, I didn't think were too challenging. When I got down to the final 4, that's where I had a hard time. I do have Oregon upsetting Bama, but I could see Bama making a run here. Clemson, Texas, Penn State, I could see them all. There's a lot of teams that could go on a run. LSU, just because we haven't seen Brian Kelly do it in Baton Rouge doesn't mean he can't. Oregon, how do they bounce back? I mean, they were the best team in the country through the regular season last year. And Notre Dame made a run all the way last year after the worst loss I've seen a playoff team have in the history of playoffs to Northern Illinois, and they made it. Georgia, you can't ever count them out. The number one football program in the country right now. But again, I got down to Penn State and gag me you. Out of principle, I'm picking Penn State. Out of principle. I was aware of this matchup, and I'm like, it's a coin toss between Penn State and Texas in my head. And out of principle, I'm picking Penn State. And I'm picking the Big Ten to win 3 in a row. Not the SEC, not our least favorite school on planet Earth, all right, who I do have in the championship game because they're going to be pretty good, I think. Any thoughts?
Well, it's just fun. And like you said, this is a crapshoot of a project because this year especially, I just think there's so much, anything can happen. Obviously, then when we get to the playoffs, anything can happen. So it's going to be fascinating. It's going to be fun. And then the other thing is I was kind of thinking through it, is I picked a conference champion as my national champion. Mm-hmm. I think you did too. That didn't happen last year. So again, it is going to be a wild ride. And all these predictions, a lot of teams that we see that we predicted, like a lot of people, they have good reasons to be top 12, top 14 teams entering the season, but we'll be humbled soon enough.
Yeah. Who's the Indiana of this year? Who do we not have down here? Who's the Florida State of this year? Everyone had them in last year. You look at this list, and I know we're over time. Look at this list. Who do you think is the most likely to be the Indiana of your playoff, or the Florida State of your playoff teams?
Ooh, of my playoff.
You have to pick somebody on your playoff bracket, your top 12. Don't pick the G5 team. That's cheating.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of already. I didn't pick Miami or LSU because I think they, of the top 10, have more of a chance to do that. But if I had to go with the most, the team I'm most worried about my playoff teams, I like Dan Lanning, but Oregon, they've had some veteran quarterbacks. You're moving on to a pretty fresh one.
Dude, that Rose Bowl did a number on you. Oh, wow. For me, it'd be Miami. That was kind of easy.
Yeah.
All right, who would be your Indiana? Who's not on your list that could surprise people? Nebraska. I'm saying it before you. Nebraska. I already said it. All right, who's your Indiana? Potential Indiana.
Oh, boy. I didn't include one necessarily in my playoff list. You got to pick someone from out of right field.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah. Expecting to win 7 or 8 games.
Duke. Go with Duke, just because.
Duke's not a bad pick, actually. I'll go Duke.
We would have done the same thing had you said Indiana last year.
You made a pretty good, like North Carolina. Made a good argument for
if
them.
They get in, pick the other team. I'm just telling you, they could be undefeated playing an 8-4 team. I'm taking the 8-4 team come the playoff matchup. All right, ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, we got some Nebraska football headlines to get to, a plethora of other news and randomness as well that hopefully you find folks enjoy. Don't go anywhere. Hour 2 of the Adam Carriker Show. By the way, I'm sticking with Nebraska, and we're going to talk tomorrow if Nebraska, because they go 9-3, no shot. If Nebraska goes 10-2, do they get in? We're going to discuss that tomorrow. Don't go anywhere. Hour 2 when we come back.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
I can't believe I just scratched that car. Find my insurance card.
Dude, what do you have in this glove box? Ew, are these socks dirty?
Oh, forget about the socks. I need my insurance card.
Just pull it up on the State Farm mobile app.
But I can do that? Oh, hey, I can do that.
Yep, it's called service.
I can file a claim on here too?
Yeah, it's called service.
Whoa, I can call my agent too?
It's called service.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krikak, today at 402-474-1173.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. With the school year here, A1 Automotive reminds you that college students get 10% off any service, and they offer free tire repair with a valid college ID. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive or downtown at 11th and L.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
M-Suits Clothiers, Lincoln's favorite men's store, is having their end-of-season clearance sale. End-of-season clearance is going on now with up to 75% off. Stop in now for the best selection on polos, sport shirts, suits, sport coats, dress pants, and dress shirts. Suits as low as $299, sport coats starting at $199, dress shirts as low as $69, and polos starting at $49. M-Suits Clothiers is located 1 block south of 56th and Pine Lake Road. M-Suits Clothiers, your menswear store.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop!
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. Visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com.
Sartor Heyman Jewelers.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
When the clock strikes 0 after every Nebraska football game, there's only one place to go for instant coverage. Tune in for the Husker After Party Postgame Show on 93.7 The Ticket for each game, win or lose. Call in with all your takes or text the show at 464-5685 and hear quotes from the players and coaches, too. It's the Husker After Party Postgame Show. Sponsored by Anderson Ford and Vinnie Kreekak of State Farm Insurance.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everett. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriker.
You ever notice I'm like a little kid right before I start talking? Like I'm like weaving back and forth and I'm like bubbly and giddy. You ever notice that? Or is that just me?
I haven't noticed yet. I'll be on the lookout for it now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hour 2 of the Adam Carriker Show. A lot of stuff to chat about. First of all, Jake, great shirt.
Thank you.
Do you control the camera? Can it zoom in on you? No, not your face, the shirt.
I had to hold it up, yeah.
I forgot to mention another team to keep your eye. If I'm going to take Nebraska out of this, as far as my potential Indiana for this year, watch out for Georgia Tech. And shout out to Terrell Farley. He actually reminded me. He's going to give a little, I don't want to say a little, but a prediction in one of his shows. And he reminded me that Georgia Tech's the team to keep your eye on this year as well. So they're a potential Indiana. All right. Captains. Captains were announced. For those who don't know, who are they, Jake?
Dylan Raiola, Henry Letofsky, Deshaun Singleton, Marquise Buford, Dane Key, and Sierra Wright.
Any surprises?
Not necessarily, but I mean, it wasn't this. I mean, I give a tip of the cap to Dane Key for coming in as a transfer and getting that right away.
Yeah, Zaire Wright. I think a lot of Husker fans have, quote unquote, fallen in love with him, so to speak. Henry Letofsky, a guy who was also chosen by Big Matt Rule to go to Big Ten Media Days. So if you were wondering, how's that other guard spot doing? One to know more. Team captain, went to Big Ten Media Days, selected by the players as a captain, coached to represent the team at Big Ten Media Days. Dylan Raiola, I think we would have been surprised if he wasn't a captain, so no surprise there. Dane Key coming in. He seems to have earned a lot of respect from a lot of people beyond just being a good football player. Deshaun Singleton, I'm correct in this, right? Like he originally was going to go to the NFL, then came back. That's correct, right?
Yeah, he actually got that extra year because of the JUCO year thing. So the opportunity opened up for him.
And that's how he came back. That's right. That's what I was thinking. That was like last winter. Sometimes things get a little hazy, foggy for me, but that's awesome. Literally, people talked about how Dane could have gone to the NFL, 3rd round pick somewhere in there. Deshaun was going to go. So to have guys like that back, really good. Who was the other one? Marquise Buford Jr.?
Mm-hmm.
Again, no surprises in here. Being a team captain, like there were certain things that stood out on the list of things that I felt really honored when I was playing. The Lifter of the Year trophy to this day, it's right up there with my highest honors. Earning a black shirt, team captain, like those were some of the things that meant the most to me. Like where we put some of the honors that I have, like those things are right there with my highest honors as far as how I view them, how I see them. So congratulations to those guys. No shocker, honestly. 6 captains?
Yeah.
Are you surprised to see 6 captains?
I'll be surprised to see 6 captains walk out to the midfield. Usually it's 4.
Yeah, I don't think the amount's a big deal. All right.
But I think it's important because sometimes, like we talked about, or maybe we didn't talk about this, I much prefer to have team captains, whether it be 4 or 6, then weekly we're going to do different things. And so I just think it helps, it helps a lot to have guys that throughout the year you can rely on and go back to. If you want to honor somebody still, maybe they can go out with the captains for their homecoming or whatever. But I like the fact that you've had solidified team captains here.
You didn't like the week-to-week deal?
I'm not a big fan of that. No, I mean, I don't think it leads to too many different wins and losses. It's one of the smaller details, but I'm kind of traditional in that way.
I'm good either way. If I could have my pick, Adam Carriker's utopian world here, I would have 2 offense, 2 defense, 1 special teams, and then I would have a weekly captain that fills in for your 6th. That's how I would do it. But neither here nor there.
Were you ever captain in the NFL?
I was not. Thanks for bringing that up.
Sorry. For some reason, I thought you might have been. What was the process of being named at Nebraska? I mean, that's obviously, like you said, a great honor.
Players voted.
Yeah.
I was almost in D.C. Injuries kind of didn't help that cause. But thanks for bringing that up. Bad news, Bach. Appreciate it.
Sorry, I thought you were.
I appreciate it. I feel like I was almost a leader.
Yeah. You're a team leader one way or the other.
I will say this. I do remember when they drafted Robert, RG3, I walked in the locker room and all of a sudden he was right next to me. And I was like, I don't play offense. I'm not a skill guy. Why am I next to Robert? I even asked Paul Kelly, one of the head guys up there in the office, so to speak. He goes, Robert is right between you and London Fletcher for a reason, because it went London, Robert, me. I was like, oh. So to me, I might as well have been the team captain, Jake, after I heard those words. All right. Getting ready for game week. Got some interesting things here. Is there anything off the text line real quick? Jake, yay or nay?
Not necessarily. Just somebody is predicting LSU to lose their opener, run the table, and only lose to Georgia in the finals. And by the way, he hates the SEC. He also says Penn State and Ohio State losing the semis. This is from Bob.
So who's he at? He has LSU in the championship? Who are they playing? Another SEC team? The guy who hates the SEC has an all-SEC final?
He didn't really give his finals. He's just picking where teams lose.
I need a clarification, my friend. What's his name?
Bob,
I need a clarification, my man. All right, a couple of quick headlines here. Buccaneers informed rookie safety Shiloh Sanders today that he is being waived per his agent, Drew Rosenhaus, and Robert Bailey, who added, and I quote, "We're hoping he gets claimed on off waivers," end quote. I'm actually a big fan of Shiloh Sanders. If you follow him, watch him on social media at all, seems like a really good dude. We have a whole clip, but now it's over a week old, where Dylan Gabriel alluded to Shadur Sanders. We don't need to play the clip at this point. You know, some guys are competitors, some guys are entertainers. So it sure came across like he was calling Shadur an entertainer. You look at the Cleveland Browns depth chart, I believe it's Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, Shadur Sanders. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So it seems like Shadur is going to be on the team. Now, when he was asked about being on the team, this is where journalistic integrity comes in. He's asked about it. The first word he says is obviously. So on social media, they post the question they asked Shadur, and his response, all it says is obviously. Like, but if you follow the rest of the clip, obviously, I'm doing the best I can. I'm grinding. I'm working hard. But they left all that out.
Yeah.
Come on now.
He said, ask anybody on the team. They're going to say they think they're going to make it. Yeah.
I don't know. I find myself rooting for Shadur. Are you surprised?
Not necessarily. I mean, he's kind of a little bit, I suppose. He's kind of put himself into a position where he's feels a little bit like an underdog. Who doesn't like an underdog story? But he's he's not much of an underdog. I mean, that's kind of the exact opposite of what he wanted you to believe going into the draft, where he's legendary and all that. So I don't know. They did release Tyler Huntley. It looks like they're going to bring on 4. Pickett's still injured. So 4 quarterbacks. That's a lot. But you know, the one thing that I think is kind of silly is people feeling like the Browns have it out for Shadur Sanders. Like there's, even former players talking about how Dylan Gabriel practices or plays with the better players on the Browns, and then Shadur only gets to go with the scrubs and the undrafted players. That's what happens when you're selected 2 rounds later. Mm-hmm. They had a chance to pick who they wanted to first, and they thought that Dylan Gabriel was the pick. So that's why that's the case.
They're going to give the benefit of the doubt the guy they drafted earlier.
Yeah,
exactly what you said. All right, a couple interesting things here. There is 0 chance I'm going to pronounce this right, but I'll do my best. Kenzai Matsuwaka is from Tokyo, where at age 20, he was a waiter at Morton's Steakhouse. On a vacation to the U.S., he saw an NFL game, returned home, and taught himself to place kick via YouTube videos. He now plays for Hawaii, and he just booted the game winner to beat Stanford 23-20. Were you aware of this?
I did. I watched that game. I actually DVR'd it and watched it in the morning. And that was a cool story.
Yeah, Hawaii won a football game, beat Stanford, an ACC team. That's so weird for me to say. With a quarterback who can barely walk and a kicker who learned how to kick on YouTube by watching YouTube videos. This was also interesting, especially if you're a Nebraska fan. Hawaii's freshman Aussie punter, Billy Gowers, 3 punts, 163 yards, 54.3 average yards per punt, 2 inside the 20, long of 67. Good sign for any teams debuting their own Aussie punter this week, right?
It's crazy. Australian punters are overtaking college football, and because they're punting, better. So it's crazy, kind of a phenomenon that's going on. Nebraska, of course, jumped in, but yeah, I mean, all that Hawaii, if I did get the win. Remember, Stanford has an interim head coach, though.
No excuses. Hawaii is not connected to the rest of the U.S. I mean, how many excuses are we going to look for here? Nebraska will take about 80 players down to Kansas City, okay, as part of their travel roster. They're probably going to take about 45, maybe more players, about 45 or so players, not on the travel squad. Will then come down on Thursday. We'll be with the team the day of the game. All right. Should have discussed this before the playoff talk. The SEC has mandated that they will now play 9 regular season games, conference games. In addition to, take this Big Ten, says the SEC, we're also going to mandate we play 1 Power 4 conference team out of conference as well. My initial thought, Stanford, Arizona, Maryland, Rutgers, they're going to get blown up by all those SEC teams. You better watch out now. What was your reaction to this? Because now the Big Ten, do we need to call Tennessee and get them back on the schedule? That one Power 4 conference team in the non-conference schedule? What was your reaction to this?
Oh, that's my exact reaction. Is Nebraska going to react to the SEC? I mean, first of all, I was surprised because the SEC has all the, kind of the bargaining power they need. I thought they were going to continue to do what they had done, which is kind of stick to that 8-game conference schedule, say it's like playing an NFL schedule. And so that it's just as difficult. So I was surprised that they did that. Obviously better for the sport. But like you were saying, more importantly, for Husker fans, is it might kind of bring back, okay, now there's an opening. That's basically Nebraska, Indiana, some of these schools were doing this reactionarily. And Matt Rule would say, because the SEC felt like is on par with the Big Ten and they had to play 1 more conference game. So now all things even, I don't know if Tennessee's coming back, but they've got some, future schedules with Oklahoma, Colorado, some, Oklahoma State, some things to look forward to. Now I feel a little bit better about those actually coming to fruition.
Who just got really mad? Kurt Signetti. He scheduled 3 middle school and a high school team, and their upcoming non-conference schedule. And he's so furious right now.
He'll probably you can still do it. I mean, Bill Snyder did it for years. It doesn't matter.
Well, Kansas State was literally the worst football program in the country. You notice I didn't say Power 4 or 5 or whatever it was back then. The worst in the country. I remember a quote he had, not the exact quote, I'll paraphrase. We just got to start winning games. Like, we just got to beat somebody. And then, dude, Kansas State, I know, last weekend didn't go great if you're a Wildcat fan, but they're a pretty good program.
Right now.
Preseason ranked. All right. The reason the SEC did this, for those who may not know, is they have changed this, what they're going to emphasize, the strength of schedule metrics that the College Football Playoff Committee is going to use. Because we could sit here and whine and complain and moan all we wanted about the SEC playing 8 conference games. They had no reason to change it. They were benefiting from essentially playing Timbuktu U late in November and getting an additional bye week. They weren't being penalized. Their teams weren't getting beat up. They were getting basically another bye week. Why would you change it? I was always mad at the system that allowed them to get away with it. The system changed. Oh, all of a sudden, now they're playing 9 conference games and 1 Power 4 conference team in the non-con. Funny how that works. The strength of schedule metrics have changed as to how teams are going to get in the college football playoff. Now, the SEC is going to play 9 conference games. They're also going to play 1 Power 4 conference team in their non-con games. The Big Ten already plays 9 conference games. I would assume them to respond with an additional Power 4 conference team in their non-conference schedule being mandated as well. The ACC is probably going to follow up and do the same thing as well. At least they should. I thought this was interesting. Brett McMurphy on X said, it's mathematically impossible for a 17-team ACC conference to each play 9 games. So how would the ACC do that? We have, and I quote, we have the highest rated academic schools of the Power 4 conferences, end quote, and ACC AD told him, we'll figure it out. Nothing says I'm smarter than you are like that quote. All right, let's see what we got up here next. You've probably seen this. I've seen this like 80,000 different places. But Ohio State, Texas, depending on which poll you look at, number 1 versus number 2 in the country this weekend. Big time game. Dude, there's so many good college football games this weekend. It's insanity. Each and every week, we're going to have to bring back our college football picks. All right. How'd you do last year, by the way?
Well, I did actually compete with Terrell, and I beat, Terrell and Rashawn, so that was pretty good. So I'm pretty good. Actually, 2 of the last 3 years I beat them.
I'm just pausing to let that set out there in the universe. When you tune in, do you hear that, Terrell? When you tune in from 1 to 3, you're listening to Bach, not Terrell. That's what Jake just said. Is that what you just said?
Not only if you're going on, picking games. And but I mean, it does go out there. Maybe, some of us that didn't play football still know a little bit about it.
Oh, who was it that said, was it Denzel that was Denzel like, if you Washington. Don't play, you don't know? What did he say? Because it did bother you. You told me this last week.
Well, yeah. I mean, he was going very elitist and saying that if, you didn't play, you don't know what you're talking about, all that sort of thing. It's like, all right, let's just take women out of the equation completely. Good job, Denzel.
Wow. You took that a whole nother direction.
Well, that's what it is. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. There's great. I mean, obviously you can't, there's a reason you do sideline reports. I mean, there is a lot of merit to what he's saying. But to completely go on the opposite instead of you've never, you don't have any experience doing it, you can't talk about it. I know what a shank punt looks like. I can talk about it. I don't have to go out and do it to tell you the impact of it in the game.
I've never seen you get this red. You are legit upset by his comments.
I've seen all 3 equalizers, Denzel.
Jake is legit bothered by these. So, and I did mention this to you when you were chatting with me about it last week off air. I was like, I think this was directed at like Stephen A. Smith and how he's talked about LeBron, because LeBron and Denzel are good friends, and Bronny James. So I think it was more at guys like that than, I don't know, maybe you were on his mind when he said it.
I just don't.
Specifically thinking of Bad News Bach. That's what I was thinking of.
I always loved Denzel Washington, and now I wake up one morning, open up Twitter, and finds out he's like directly attacking me. I'm like, well, okay.
Directly attacking you. He might as well have tagged you on X.
He did. I think he's heard something from me and said, you know what? Screw this guy.
Denzel is one of those few actors and actresses that has like a spotless record, and you have just crapped all over it, Jake. So here's the crazy stats. All right, I'm sure everybody's seen this by now, but if somehow you have not, in the last 20 years, when a quarterback makes his first start against the number 1 team in the country, that quarterback making his first start is 0-18. That quarterback this weekend will be Julian Sain of Ohio State when they take on Texas. Does that matter to you? Do you care at all about that?
Can you say that again? I kind of lost that. I got caught up the 0-18 part.
Essentially, like if I were to make my first ever collegiate start, let's say for Nebraska, and we're playing, I'm not going to say Texas. I just don't want to use Texas. Number 1, Oklahoma. I actually respect them. Guys in my position making their first ever college start as a quarterback are 0-18 when my first start is against the number 1 team in the country.
Yeah, I mean that it makes more sense than usual, though. I mean, I would expect that to be a pretty difficult, stat to kind of combat. But obviously, we know the situation a little bit different with the defending champion.
Yep.
Playing against the number 1 team.
Is that going to affect how you pick that game at all? 0-18, dude.
No. I picked Ohio State all offseason. I'm not switching now.
You're not?
No.
You're not going to use logic and facts and okay.
No wonder
Denzel went after you.
Defending national champion against Arch Manning, who everybody already declares is the number 1 draft pick in a few years. We'll see.
I feel like you're a little cantankerous today, man. I like it. You got a case of the Mondays. Is that what it is?
No, I'm actually really happy because college football started this weekend.
All right. In two of their most recent starts in the preseason, just kind of going back to Dillon versus Shadur. Shadur was 14 of 23. Gabriel was 13 of 18. Shadur had 157 yards passing. Dillon had 144. Here's where it gets interesting. Shadur threw for 2 touchdowns, no picks. Dillon had no touchdowns, 2 picks. Now, was he going with and against the tougher squads? How do you view that right now?
Yeah, I mean, and it gives them something to talk about. Obviously, the pro Shadur crowd. It's fascinating again because when you say he's the 5th round pick or whatever, but we all kind of know the situation. Again, I think that whole draft situation made a better movie than Draft Day, which they were purposely kind of making something unbelievable up to happen. So like it matters, but again, I still go back to they picked Dillon Gabriel a couple rounds ahead of Shadur. They're almost like back against the wall, like finally, like we got to take Shadur here, don't we? So I think that's going to still be prevalent as you move forward. Now, once you get on the field and try to make some change, I mean, if things continue to go along that route, then eventually Shadur will surpass Dillon Gabriel. But that's, again, it's a small sample size too, so I don't want to make a huge deal out of it.
All right, we better go to break. We were anticipating press conferences going on. During the break, I'm going to get some recon on if they are or not. If not, we got plenty to talk about. But that was in the headline, the major Nebraska football updates. That's kind of what I was alluding to. So we'll see how those press conferences are going and are not going. Maybe we give those updates tomorrow. Tomorrow's show is already loaded. Jake's proclaiming Nebraska football to win the national title tomorrow. Is that the date you marked on your calendar right after you called Denzel and Kevin Costner to discuss draft day?
That's right.
All right. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
No cravings, no hunger pains, no struggle. Thanks to GLP-1s from Limitless Mail, weight loss is possible. Picture this. Your clothes fit better, your energy's up, your doctor's impressed, and your friends start noticing. Limitless Mail's GLP-1 program is medically monitored and changing men's lives. There's no better time than now to get on board. Lose the weight, better your health, gain your confidence without being hungry. Free consult at limitlessmail.com.
A business's phone is the lifeline to its customers and potential clients. That's why it's so important that you can take calls seamlessly from anywhere, whether you're on the road or in the office. Hamilton Business Technologies can help ensure your phone rings wherever you are. We can equip your headquarters and any of its locations with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we know how to keep Nebraska businesses connected. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Rick Heyman here from Starter Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. Visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at starterheyman.com.
Starter Heyman Jewelers.
I can't believe I just scratched that car. Find my insurance card.
Dude, what do you have in this glove box? Ew, are these socks dirty?
Oh, forget about the socks. I need my insurance card.
Just pull it up on the State Farm mobile app.
But I can do that? Oh, hey, I can do that.
Yep, it's called service.
I can file a claim on here too?
Yeah, it's called service.
Whoa, I can call my agent too?
It's called service.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krikak, today at 402-474-1173.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop!
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
There are great Mexican restaurants all over town, but there is one that is especially worth the drive from any part of town. Tacos Los Hermanos at 70th and Havelock. Cool off this summer with a delicious horchata or other special drinks, and grab one of their famous taco boxes for a group of friends or coworkers to enjoy, full of birria tacos and many other options. Don't forget their great desserts like tres leches, flan, and cheesecake. Get to Tacos Los Hermanos for lunch or dinner today at 70th and Havelock in Lincoln. When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with Taco Night on Mondays or Whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL Weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see partly sunny skies with light winds and cool temps. An afternoon high around 74. Tonight, partly cloudy skies and calm winds, a low around 55. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies with light winds and an afternoon high near 77. I'm meteorologist Kyle Husker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the press conference has started later today than I realized, so I do apologize. That was the main headline, Nebraska football update. Tomorrow's going to be loaded, though. Will Nebraska make the college football playoff if they go 10-2? Jake says no. I say yes. We actually didn't discuss it at all. I just want to make you the bad guy. We'll discuss that tomorrow. I love how you weren't going to say anything, though. Just let me throw anything out there. No, we'll discuss that tomorrow. I actually don't know where I land on that because our lack of a strength of schedule is going to come into play at that point. But who are we paired with? Is it Miami? Is it an SEC team? We'll discuss tomorrow. Also, we'll give full analysis and reaction to the press conferences that are starting here shortly. We'll do that mañana. All right. It is the noon hour, and that means it's lunchtime, ladies and gentlemen. Here on the Adam Carriker Show on the Ticket, sponsored by our good friends at Mulberry Barbecue. Now with 2 locations at 11th and Cornhusker and at 61st and Apples Way, right off of Highway 2 by Lowe's. Both locations are open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Try their burn-in sandwich, a brisket burrito, barbecue nachos, full slab of ribs, half-smoked chicken, and much, much more. Plus incredible sides. Get fueled for lunch today or make dinner plans at Mulberry Barbecue. Located at 11th and Cornhusker and at 61st and Apples Way, just off of Highway 2 by Lowe's. All right. We will be on location at Mulberry Barbecue, their south location here in the near future. We need to get that set up. All right. Can't wait to do it again. Really enjoyed the last time that we did it. Now, it was pointed out to us, before we dive into that, it was actually just announced Zaire Wright, all right, got a new NIL deal. And so SeatGeek has signed multiple college football stars per On3 NIL to NIL deals. Each player will promote a custom discount code for tickets. Alabama's Dante Lawson, LSU's Whit Weeks, and Michigan's Justin Haynes are among the group, as well as Nebraska's Zaire Wright. Pictured as also a Texas A&M player. I'm just not familiar with him, so I can't say his name. I do apologize to that individual. But I think Zaire has turned into one of my favorite players. If I were to list, like, again, these are not my children. I'm allowed to have favorites. Okay. Doesn't mean I dislike anybody because I love everybody who represents the Scarlet and Cream. But I think my 3 favorite players on the team at this moment in time, probably Teddy Prohaska, Tyler Kanak, and Zaire Wright. Zaire comes here late in the summer, a season ago, from USC. I don't want to say he was an afterthought, but I don't think a lot of people really put a lot of credence into that. He had started 15 games at USC before he got here. Now, USC wasn't a very good defense, so maybe that's why he was a little bit overlooked. As the season went along, he proved to be absolutely one of our best 11 players on defense. I will never forget that USC game. The pick six he took to the house, the veracity and the animosity that appeared to me to be between him and USC still at that point, I found highly entertaining. And I can relate to some of my former teams as well in the past. But somebody pointed out they've not yet handed out the black shirts that we're aware of anyways. Are we aware of the black shirts being handed out, Jake, at all?
I haven't seen anything about that, no.
Who do you think's going to... Well, let's talk about when they hand out the black shirts instead of projecting who's going to get it. We'll react whenever they do announce that. When you hear black shirt, because the Bach block, 11-3, 1-3, part of that is Bach in the black shirt. Terrell Farley, one of the greatest to ever do it. What does a black shirt mean to you? Like, what does that represent to you? And does this still hold the same credence as it once did to you?
I wouldn't say that obviously at its high, it was, when Nebraska was a dominant program, one of the best defenses in the country, year in and year out, I think it meant a little bit more, if you will, just because you had the top players in the nation. Now, these last couple of years, Nebraska's defense has been good. Hesitate to say great, but, kind of getting back to that black shirt standard. I always love it because, again, and we point this out, very few places around college football and football in general specifically highlight the defense. And I have a defensive football mind. I like defensive football in any case. And so I like to see that, Wrecking Crew at Texas A&M. There's a couple others, but for the most part, the black shirts being celebrated the way that they are, the unique tradition to it, the skull and the crossbones doesn't hurt, all that sort of stuff. Pretty cool. And so it's one of my favorite traditions. I didn't mind, and I'm interested to see maybe where they're going. You have a new defensive coordinator, maybe different ideas where they made them earn it at times under Bo Pelini. Of course, he had great defenses for the most part. And then, at certain times would get run out of the building in games. So that's the one thing that you kind of risk is that, are you ever going to, I think there was one season where they did that and it was like, all right, we'll just give it to them after this subpar performance because it's better one they've done, and we want to hand them out at some point. So I know a lot of people prefer to hand them out before the season, but we've got to be getting close, right? It's game week.
I wonder. So the press conference is going on right now. There's no sound.
Right.
So they could be talking about the black shirts right now and we wouldn't know it. If that's the case, we can't make the sound appear. We're working on it. Barring that being the case, I've always been a fan. It's a long off season, dude. It's winter conditioning. You got spring ball. You're grinding. There's early mornings. You're getting beat up. You're getting treatment. You're lifting. You're running. You got summer conditioning. It's like, think about those days where it was 95 and humid and you're like, I'm in the AC. They were not out there working out. Nobody's complaining. That's part of the gig. And then you go through fall camp, which is the toughest part of the entire year if you're a football player. I've always thought handing it out going into game one is what I personally preferred. I have no idea what they're doing now. I know what they've done the first 2 years that Rule's been here. New D coordinator this year. Maybe they change it. We'll see what happens, and we'll react after we know what happens. So this was sent to me from a fan. Not the most uplifting, but it tells you that we need to be ready to go game one defensively. A lot of talk about the offense. The defense is just as important. Not as always as exciting to talk about unless you're someone like you and me. But here's what they said to me. In theory, the defense should be able to take a few games to find itself. In reality, now you got to keep in mind, when it comes to the offenses we face this year, this is me talking, not reading. USC, Penn State. Who am I missing? There was a third offense that I considered to be really good. Michigan, if you want to throw them in there. Is that probably the third team?
Yeah, we'll see in a Bryce Underwood.
Who, by the way, the 5-star true freshman quarterback was just announced as their starter. Shocker, paying $10 million a year or whatever it is. Like, we're not facing the most dynamic offenses week in and week out. That being said, if the defense is not ready for some reason, Nebraska, this I'm reading now again, this is not my words, is an abysmal 8-43 in the last 10 years when allowing the opponent to score 28 or more points. And 16-57, which is a .219 winning percentage when allowing 21 or more. The numbers from the Matt Rule era have not improved. 0-5 when allowing 28 or more, and 1-8 when giving up 21 plus points. The lone win was last year's Wisconsin game where we scored 44. In other words, the black shirts need to be ready to roll game one. What's your reaction to that when you hear that?
Well, that's. I mean, I agree with it. Obviously, like again, the attention there. I didn't know. There's a lot of numbers you can compile against Nebraska football over the last decade. Would you say 16 and 51 when allowing 21
57.
points? 57. That's rough.
Not even a 300 winning percentage.
Yeah, that's really rough. And again, we lived through it, so we kind of know it. Some of these statistics maybe not shock you as much as maybe they would if you didn't, watch it all kind of break down. But more often than not, and that's Nebraska's defense. Trying to last couple of years trying to hover around 18 points per game. That's the goal. I get that, but just to get to that 21 and have the numbers shift like that tells you that you've had kind of an offensive problem here at Nebraska for some time, and certainly a lot of these teams have struggled with that.
We do have sound rolling. It is Dana Holgerson talking. I don't think he's going to address the black shirt situation. We'll wait to see what John Butler says. This show will probably be over, and again, we'll react to it tomorrow. I've got about four things here. I'm going to read the Greg Maddux one because it's so phenomenal, and I'll save the other three for after the break. Greg Maddux threw a total of 8,006 called balls to 8,025 batters he faced from 95 to 2003. That's less than one ball per batter. Dude, when I talk about efficiency, can we see that type of efficiency out of our offense? Is that a possibility?
That's crazy.
That is crazy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
There are great Mexican restaurants all over town, but there is one that is especially worth the drive from any part of town. Tacos Los Hermanos at 70th and Havelock. Cool off this summer with a delicious horchata or other special drinks, and grab one of their famous taco boxes for a group of friends or coworkers to enjoy, full of birria tacos and many other options. Don't forget their great desserts like tres leches, flan, and cheesecake. Get to Tacos Los Hermanos for lunch or dinner today at 70th and Havelock in Lincoln. Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with the child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Fun and ballpark vibes? Bring your pack to Haymarket Park for a thrilling season of Lincoln Salt Dogs baseball and unleash the fun. From May through August, the Lincoln Salt Dogs will be playing and the park will be popping with all the food, drinks, and fun you need for the perfect night out. Grab your friends, family, and coworkers and make plans now. Visit saltdogs.com to secure your tickets. Come on out to the park and unleash the fun.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with Taco Night on Mondays or Whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes. Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
From the capital to castles, starting this December, fly nonstop from Lincoln to Orlando with service from Breeze Airways. That's right, nonstop flights to Orlando out of LNK are starting this December. You're now just a flight away from Disney World, Universal Studios, Legoland, and the Space Coast. Stretch out and relax on Breeze with complimentary family seating. Book your magical getaway now at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs has been a trusted and reliable company in Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Fast Mike's handles all sides of construction projects, home renovations, or big cleanouts. With the perfect size dumpster to fit your needs, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs make cleanup quick and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmikesrolloff.com. Book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Roll-Offs, cleanup made simple.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top-quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the final segment of this Monday edition of the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. What we do know so far from the Dana Holgorsen press conference, again, we'll get to the full reaction tomorrow, him, Coach Butler as well. The inside three offensive linemen are set. Justin Evans, Rocco, Henry Latufsky. We're going to see guys rotating at tackle. Does that concern you, Jake? We've discussed this. We have been talking about offensive tackle since December. Yeah. So let's do like a 1-minute synopsis and move the frick on. But does this concern you?
It's not ideal. I would have rather had somebody win out the job. Of course, the depth chart come out, and Gunnar Gatula and Teddy Prohaska were on top, but there's oars on every part of the depth chart there. So yeah, I mean, rotating. I tell you what, I'd be more comfortable with rotating guards than tackles. I mean, you're talking about, protecting Dylan Raiola back there. So we'll see. It's all, I gotta be honest. It is a little bit concerning to me.
All right. Speaking of legendary black shirts from the previous segment, now Rondé Barber, one of the greats in the history of the NFL, on Levante David, two former Bucks. And I quote, Levante, I know that you're going to be in the Bucks Ring of Honor one day. I'm hoping you're going to wear a gold jacket with me one day. And I think a lot of people around the league value what you provided to this organization and to the position. So I'm going to leave you with that because I don't need you to respond to it. But in my mind, you are one of the greatest to ever do it, buddy. End quote. What's your reaction to that? Because my reaction is it's about time somebody, because somehow this dude's way under the radar. He's like London Fletcher, just not enough people know about these dudes. Just straight up football players, don't have to talk a lot, just some of the best to ever do it. That's my reaction. Finally, somebody's kind of speaking this publicly. What's your thought there, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, I unfortunately, I think he's going to go down with Roger Craig and be among the names that we're going to argue year in and year out should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I don't know if he's going to get there. Historically, his tackle numbers are magnificent. Seriously, I mean, you go through all time in the game, he's right up there, but he's only had one Pro Bowl selection, 2-time second team All-Pro. I mean, those generally aren't going to get you anywhere close. But so, I mean, he's just been undervalued. And it's amazing. Every year they do that top 100 list of players in the NFL. It's always like 96th, which is like fair enough. But what is he, like the Frank Gore of linebackers?
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah.
When Tom Brady was there, the Bucs were good. Outside of that, they haven't been good Bucs teams. And a lot of times that can be held against an individually great player, unfortunately. All right, I'm sure you're aware of this. Auburn claimed about 24 national titles last week. Now, let's do this the Nebraska version. So we should claim 1980, 81, 82, 83, 84, 93, 99. Now, somebody else sent me 1915 and 1921. I'm not familiar enough with those seasons, so I'm just going to hop on board. We're going to claim 1915 and 1921. How do you feel about Nebraska now having won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? On top of the 5, we have 14 national championships, and we just found about this this week. What are your thoughts on this?
I don't love it. Now, I will give Auburn a little bit of credit. You've had some undefeated seasons as of late, even 94, 2004. I think I can't remember if those were the exact years or whatever, but they had some. I think it was 93 and 2004.
Yep.
They had some teams, like especially that 2004 team. It blows my mind that an undefeated SEC team before the big SEC run of winning all those titles didn't get the opportunity to play for a championship there in the BCS days. So some of them have a little bit more of an argument than others, but I don't like going back and doing that math. I mean, it's so far after the fact. Where did these teams? They're like teams from the 1910s celebrating, and most of them probably aren't around.
No, 1915 and 1921 specifically.
Yeah.
Honestly, Auburn claimed way too many. Had they just gone back and done those are the 2 years I thought of.
Yeah.
They were undefeated 2004. There was 3 undefeated teams that year. USC, Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush played Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl. Molly, Wapton, Kerm stopped Oklahoma. Oklahoma was the D coordinator. He was furious afterwards because they couldn't run cover 2 if you watched the press conference. Auburn got left out. How do you go, okay, if you're going to go undefeated and win the SEC championship, like this would never happen now. They'd get the 1 through 4 seeds all just to themselves now. How do you get left out? So that's a fair thing. Okay. All right. I'm fine with that. 93, they were on probation, if you remember, which is why they were not included, because they were undefeated in 93 as well. Terry Bowden, Bobby Bowden's son, was the head coach. Think if we had a Final Four playoff in 93. Think about that Florida State team that Nebraska played. Think about Notre Dame, who beat Florida State. Think about Nebraska, who pretty much beat Florida State. And think about undefeated Auburn. Think about that Final Four, what that would have been like. They just claimed way too many and made it ridiculous. Had they just stuck with those 2, I'd have been like, okay, this is way better than UCF trying to claim a national title, although they did it in the moment, if you want to give them credit for that. All right, last thing of the day, and this made me think of Corey Schlesinger. Giants defensive lineman Elijah Chapman has broken his face mask every time he has played fullback, so apparently he's playing some fullback. Head coach Brian DeBoll revealed today. Chapman is 6 foot and 280 pounds and is considered a freak athlete for someone his size. New York has their own version of, and I quote, the refrigerator, end quote. So Corey Schlesinger would always come back and work out with us in the summers. By the way, the dude, he was really fast and athletic, just comparatively speaking to other things I saw. But one year he told me he broke 13 face masks. 13. They play 16 games. He's like almost averaging a new face mask a game. As soon as I read that, that's what I thought of was Corey Schlesinger. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a phenomenal Monday. We'll see you tomorrow. Go Big Red. And always remember to throw the ball.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
From the capital to castles, starting this December, fly nonstop from Lincoln to Orlando with service from Breeze Airways. That's right, nonstop flights to Orlando out of LNK are starting this December. You're now just a flight away from Disney World, Universal Studios, Legoland, and the Space Coast. Stretch out and relax on Breeze with complimentary family seating. Book your magical getaway now at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see partly sunny skies with light winds and cool temps. An afternoon high around 74. Tonight, partly cloudy skies and calm winds, the low around 55. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies with light winds and an afternoon